Selection Sunday was today, these teams would be very nervous. NC State, Kentucky, and St. John's. We're no longer just vibing anymore. Non-conference is over. All three have moved into the conference slate. There's enough to actually have a resume now. Net rankings, quad wins. Let's look at a little bit of all of it. I'm going to talk about some schedule nuances as well, but all three teams sitting in the 30s right now with resume of the net, and then resume averages sitting in the 50s. Not a great start. All three do have those predictive averages really holding them up. The quad 1 and 2 records, each team has 2 or maybe 3 quad 1 or 2 wins. St. John's does have now the bad loss, the Q3 loss. And I think St. John's without a point guard is probably our highest panic team right now. Kentucky sitting there at about a 7 as well. No bad losses, but the SEC is brutal. NC State sitting at a 6, not going to have a ton of opportunity left this year, but we'll start with them. They're hovering near the bubble without a big margin for error right now. They're 1-4 in quadrant 1. They have a record of 3-5 and 1-2. They have upcoming road games that could really just kill their resume. They're at Boston College, at a solid Florida State team who just took Duke down to the wire, and then they host Georgia Tech. They have 2 quad 1 home games remaining, Duke and North Carolina, as well as a handful of quad 1 road games that will kind of play out. However, their lone quad 1 win is a neutral game against Boise. They sit 45th in the net right now. I don't see that staying Q1, especially the way Boise's played. It's year 1 under Will Wade. You give him a little bit of leniency, but he's definitely brought in some personalities and not necessarily as many high-level kind of guys, unfortunately. Next, let's talk St. John's. Everyone thought this was a solid team, destined to be the second best team in the Big East. We were clearly looking at a single-digit seed fighting with UConn. Now we're struggling, sitting at 1-4 in quadrant 1, 1-0 in Q2. They do have the Q3 loss. Resume average in the 50s. I think they're headed for the bubble. However, their predictives seem to think otherwise. They have 2 games left that are massive coming up. Butler and Creighton likely is going to point us where they're headed. They're both on the road. Finally, the Wildcats, Kentucky, $20 million. That's what we spent on this team. Now we're sitting at 56 in the country in resume average. The team just kind of looks lost when they're playing a lot of the time. They're 1-5 in quad 1, 2-5 in 1-2. The wins over Indiana and St. John's look good, but those aren't complete resume wins. Like, there's not going to get you into the tournament. Kentucky does have 3 more Q3 games left, the next 2 being up 2/3 of that. So time to get right, kind of slow down before SEC play really ramps up for them. They will have LSU and then Tennessee in a couple weeks. Which of these teams do you all think is on the wrong side of the bubble? Comment below